I wanted to ask you about casting and working with Gael Garcia Bernal, because when I saw this movie, this is one of those movies where I could not imagine another actor in that role. Like, I don't know how.
Right?
Yeah. So is that the way you saw it too? And how did you get him involved?
From the second I, had the idea that I wanted to tell this story, Gael was the only actor that I wanted to work with. I mean, I also could not see another actor in this role. Day one. I mean, come on. Itu Mamata Mia and Bad Education, one of the great Mexican actors. Who else could do this role? It's such a physical role as well. It was only going to be Gael.
So
I stalked him, though.
That's what I was going to ask. How did you get him?
For 6 years, I was on the board of governors of the Academy of Motion Pictures Arts and Sciences, which allowed, I got to go to every, Academy event, and Gael at a lot of them, and I would just go up to him, tap him on the shoulder, and say, hey, I'm writing a script about this wrestler, Cassandro, and he would kind of blow me off, and then I'd go up to him again. And at one point, it was the Governor's Awards, and Inarritu was getting an award, and he was there with the three amigos and all the Mexican mafia of directors, and I was really intimidated, but I went up to the table and I tapped him on the shoulder again. I was so embarrassed. I said, you hang with a cool crowd. It's a stupid thing to say. And he's like, yeah, okay. And I was like, yeah, remember me? I'm the guy who keeps approaching you. I even approached him in a restaurant. And he was having dinner, all awkward times, and said, hey, and finally, my agents got me an actual real meeting with him, and he was in New York. I live in New York. And I pitched the project to him. He immediately said yes. Once I got to sit down with him and tell him the story and really pitch it to him, he's like, oh my God, I'm in.
And then once you got him, what was that collaboration like? What kinds of conversations did the two of you have about this character, or not character, this real man he was playing?
Yeah, well, Cassandro is a legend in lucha libre wrestling. So there was a documentary about Cassandro that played at Cannes. I made a short documentary about Cassandro. So there was plenty of material for Gael to dive in and really watch the vibe, the charisma, the talent of the real Cassandro. What Gael really dove into was the hard work. He did a lot of his own stunts. He worked for many, many, many months with the real lucha libre wrestlers and in the ring and trained physically. He added bulk. He went all out and worked really hard. So he really embraced it in that way. He embraced the physicality of it because it was such a physically, he makes it look easy, but it's actually really physically challenging. The real Cassandro, his body was destroyed from decades of wrestling. And then the real Cassandro, right before we started shooting, had a stroke. And he was here at the festival for the premiere, but is paralyzed on one half of his body and cannot speak. He can say certain words, but cannot really speak.
What was his reaction to the movie?
It was very emotional. It was an amazing, I went down to El Paso a couple weeks before the festival and showed it to Cassandro for the first time. Amazon rented the big, beautiful theater, the Plaza Theater in El Paso, and it was just us with David Teague, the co-writer, and it was the most amazing screening experiences of my life because he was jumping up out of his chair and cheering as he was mimicking the action on the screen. When Gael's hands were in the air triumphantly, so was Cassandro in that theater. And I have these pictures from behind of Cassandro cheering. When his mother came on the screen, he yelled, "Mama, Mama, Mama." I mean, he cried. I can't even tell you, it was such an incredible experience. So watching it with him, with the audience at the premiere at Sundance, it was the same thing. He was sitting behind me and just hearing him scream and yell at every moment, and really, seeing it through his eyes was incredible.